Hello everybody, you should now be able to hear me. Hello and welcome to a stream today. It's Jamie here and I've had a very intense day and I'm just getting into a bit of evening streaming because I'm properly excited for the new Skylines DLC that came out yesterday, which is the Hotels and Resorts plus a whole bunch of content creator packs. So that is what I am looking at today, and the plan is to have a prod around and set up some new hotels within the city, and to finish off the zoo that we started building for Lion last time. I don't think this is going to be a very busy stream today. I'm sure there might only be one or two of us around today. But I figured I'd give it a go and I'd stream what I was working on, so that people could see the zoo develop and I can record my first impressions of the new DLC. Curious if any accessibility things will pop up that will make things a bit more interesting. And I was planning to record the footage anyway, so I may as well do a stream while I'm doing it, right? So yeah, so that's pretty much the plan for today. So for anyone who is only following us, is only just joining us, YouTube tells me there are now 2 people listening, so hello the people who are listening. The plan today is to just play with the zoos and hotels DLC, give it an explore and kind of see how it all comes together. So without further ado, let's move into the game, which is Skylines, which is loaded here. So for folks who haven't been here before or who need a refresher, this is my city of Pride Valley. It's built on the same map as New Zealand, which was built by Biffa. So if you've never come across Biffa, he's one of the really amazing YouTube streamers for City Skylines. So this is the same map he uses for New Zealand. I really like it because it's got lots of little pockets to explore. I've been building this city for a few weeks now. And it's an evolution, kind of a rebuild of a city that I started when I first started the game back in November. To give a little bit of a brief tour of the city, we've got a central island where I've been slowly going around the outside, and then we've got these kind of outer little archipelagos, I think they call them, which I've been building up bit by bit with different specialisms. I started kind of in the middle of the map and then I've just sort of spiraled my way out. My last build I went around the island, but this time I've decided to stretch across the way and go out sideways instead. So today we are looking at the new DLC, which is all about hotels, and adding some hotels to the city. We're also going to look at the zoo. So extending the zoo to kind of fill out more of the space and add some of the new enclosures and animals that we've unlocked. And then just generally building up to finish things off and kind of see where the new DLC sits with stuff. So that is the plan for today. If anybody is out there, feel free to say hello on the chat. It's always nice to know if folks are out there and I'm not here on my own. But either, I'm good either way. So I'm going to start off with looking at the zoo. So let's get things running away. I'll turn my volume down a little bit. So we are well over the entertainment level needed for the next level, and we're making good progress on the total visitors as well. So we're up to level 2.5, about to hit level 3. So this is pretty much looking after itself. I think I'm going to make some changes just to tidy things up a little bit. So when I was looking at this the other night, I was thinking that the monorail running partly around the outside and then swapping around the inside, it's a little bit untidy, and I could imagine somebody on the road or on the path, because this is a path rather than a road, wanting to sit on the path and look at the ocean without the monorail in the way. I'm also thinking that this station up on this side is going to be a little bit annoying when I come to do a key wall or something. So I've decided that I think we should move the station onto the inside, and then rerun the track around the inside of the path, and just do it that way. Make things a little bit smoother and a little bit easier to tidy up in the future. So I'm going to get on and do that, and then the next step will be adding in some hotels. and then looking at other places in the city where it might make sense to add a hotel or two. So I'm going to pause this, and to do the train line, I'm going to use the network multitasking tool. So sorry, the monorail line. So the monorail, the network tool, which is down here, is called Network Multitool, and it lets us set things up and do things in parallel. So I'm going to run the tracks around the inside, like so, which will then put them on the other side of the path, and mean that people can sit on the path without having their view obscured. So I'm just going to move that. This is creating a duplicate, and I'll then hook it all up in a minute. So then we want to connect things. Okay, so what's happened here is that these two bits of the path don't connect, so it won't let us do a parallel, do a copy of them to get the same shape because they don't connect. So I'm just going to connect them up so that they merge together. So that now becomes one path, like so. And then I'm going to nudge that slightly so it's a little bit smoother using the Move It tool. And just smoothing off those things like so. So let's continue going with creating these things in parallel. I really like the network multi-tool. It's got lots of very clever features to it that are very, very useful when building these sorts of things, where laying it all out by hand would be extremely tricky. Extremely tricky for me because my hands are not exactly brilliant. So yeah, so that's the new monorail line popped in. So I'm just going to delete the old one and then connect everything up nice and smoothly. So that into there. And in a minute I'll make that nice and smooth so that we have a nice bit of flowing curves so that we don't cause too much bother for the trains going around the corners. So I can select these three nodes here and tighten them up like so. That looks like it has deleted a little bit of our path, so I'll reinstate the path in a moment. So there is our new monorail running around the inside rather than the outside, and then just pop that out the way like so, and that flying train will snap itself to the new path when we get there, which is nice. And then I'm also going to move the station a little as well, so I'm going to move the station so it's on the other side of the road, so it won't obscure future places where I might put a quay wall or something. That is a different road, so I want one of the bicycle roads for that. Bicycle, bicycle, bicycle. Like so. Ta-da, just like that. So then I'll move that up to the other side. Donk. And then connect up the rails. So we'll bring this around with a nice smooth curve, like so, and then curve it up and into the station. So that's going to be a little bit too much. So I'm going to bring that out diagonally, and then I will smoothen this off. Whoops, moving the wrong one there. Like so. Not ideal, but that will be okay for now. And then I can smoothen that all up in a moment. I've got a better idea of where everything is going. Like so. In fact, I can probably delete that node from the middle there. Don't think it's doing anything useful. Like so. So we've got a nice smooth run into the station. And I'm going to smoothen up this whole thing now using the ArrayNut line mode for network multi-tool. This lets us create smooth curves and stuff. Well, that's not quite the curve we want. So let's smooth it from there to there. And then let's smooth it from there to there. There we go. It's the best it can do. So now I will run it nice and smoothly into the station. So yeah, so running it on this side, it just gives us a few more options later for making various bits smoother and ensuring that we can have things on the outside that don't conflict. And I can add things like quay walls later without having to move the railway line. And it also means that when people are sat on this lovely zoo garden bench, they're not going to be seeing the monorail whizzing around in front of them. There'll be a little bit of separation. So this bit of path here I've broken as I've moved it through. So I'm just going to tidy that up. I want this to stick to the ground, so I'm just setting that in the options. And I want it to not conflict with other things. So I'm going to disable collisions like so. And that should let me put things close together. I'll remove this tree. There we go. So there we have the monorail sweeping up over the top. I'm just going to remove these. Whoops, I removed the monorail line rather than the tree. Whoops-a-daisy. Just reinstate that. I'm just going to remove these trees out the way. Like so. So there we have it all sweeping through without conflicting with anything, which is nice. And then that'll give us this outside space for adding key walls and things like that in the future, and exhibits and such things. So I'm now going to have a look and just see what we've got left over from the zoo. So we have, last time we built this zoo for Lion. So for the folks who don't know me, Lion is my plushy companion who goes everywhere with me. He's big and he's fluffy, and he really likes hanging around with me and has done for about 20 years. And his main interest is antelope. So he is this is his zoo that we built for him, and he has a main area, like a main pen full of antelope, and a cafe kind of conspicuously next door, so that he can eat the antelopes from the paddock. And a park information boost, because it's just a really nice little asset with, again, some more tables and stuff. So yeah, so that's what we've got here. We then have the park gift shop, which is this one here. I think that's another cafe, and then that's the park restrooms, the bathrooms. This is the moose enclosure. Lion doesn't eat moose, just to be clear. One of his best friends is a moose. And then we have an aviary full of birds. And let's see what else we have now. We have a moose and reindeer enclosure. We've got one of those. We have a birdhouse. We have an antelope enclosure, Lion's favourite. Ooh, we now have the option for a bison enclosure. So let's start adding one of those in. Where do we think bison would go? I'm thinking I'd have bison up towards the outside. I like bison along the outside. So I think I'm going to remove this path out to the outside, and I'm going to pop the bison enclosure along here. So it should sit in quite nicely in this space, hopefully. Oh, that's going to interfere with the path. Okay, so that won't fit in there. So I want to run it down the middle. I think this one doesn't snap onto a road. It brings its own roads with it. So it doesn't want to sit with other things. So in that case, I'm going to run it parallel down here and then attach some roads onto it. Oh, hi Mad Techie, nice to see you. Thanks for dropping by the stream today. It's nice to know that I'm not just streaming to myself, which is, you know, always good for the brain to know that there's someone out there. I hope you're having a nice day today and that you're it's been lovely and chill for you. I think I need to make my zoo area bigger. No, I need to give it connection to something else, I think. So I will run a path for that. And then I will, in a moment, get on and go and focus on the new DLCs. See how they look. So there's the new, I want the zoo path, which is this one. So connect that up. And then I will connect that up into this path up here. I think would be a nice natural space for that as well. Wow, you didn't finish work till 6:30 today. That's a long old day. We were out till quite late today as well. I was out doing a talk for a client on some digital accessibility stuff, and that took a while. We got back in at about 6:10, so I jumped through the shower and did my various bits and bobs to try and be ready to stream for 7 today. So I didn't have much time to tell Twitter that I was streaming and just, you know, let people know. So I think partly why there's fairly few folks around today, which is nice. I'm going to kind of experiment with streaming at different times to see who's around and kind of what works for folks. But given I wanted to play the new DLC anyway, and I wanted to get some footage of it for potential video in the next couple of days, I figured I may as well stream it. I hope you had a lovely day at work, even if it did go on a little bit later than you would have hoped. So I'm just adding new things to the zoo, and then we'll go on and start looking at some places where we can add hotels within the map. So that was the insect amphibian house, and we now have the Tasia house. The Tasia house. This is actually new. This is part of the new DLC. It's one of the new types of animal enclosures, and it is part of the new Hotels and Resorts DLC. So they've added a lot of things for other DLCs as well. Other people have videos covering the full extension of all the new content, but they've got a lot. It's really impressive. It makes the whole thing seem pretty good value to me. Gives a lot more opportunities for things, and it's nice that they go back and they add things to older DLCs, so it kind of constantly improves the value proposition. I'm just having a think about where I'd like the Tasias to live. Tasias, they're kind of small mammals, so I think they should live somewhere near the other mammals. I think I'm going to have them over this side, so people have something to go visit if they come in this zoo entrance up here. I noticed that what I've done there is I've actually connected up that path, but I actually need to put a zoo entrance onto this path, otherwise people can get into the zoo without going through the main gate, which affects all your numbers, even if your park is very cheap. And then that limits the rate that the parks can grow and expand. So we want a zoo side gate or a zoo main gate. We'll go for a side gate, and that needs to attach to a road. So let's expand this road out a little further to make some space for it, like so. Like so. And then we can pop the main gate just on the other side of here, so that we have a space for these paths to go into. Although, to be honest, this is fairly close, so I think I'm actually just going to run the path back under and up to there and do it that way. Ooh, my laptop keeps falling asleep for some reason, so yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Floating away. Let's hook that path up. Bum, 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 bum. So I'm going to bring it through here, and then run it up around the outside, I think. So in like that, and then around like that, nice and smooth. And then that will all connect up quite nicely. And it will give us a little bit more space on this street for buildings and stuff later if we want to. So we now have our new Tasia house in. Okay, so I think that's everything we can put on the zoo for now. So I'm going to call that done for now. We just need it to keep incrementing the number of visitors. So we need to get to 2,500 total visitors before we're ready for the next level. And then we're ready to add more things. So we'll leave that to run away and do its thing. I'm going to put the price down, because whilst it will cost me a little bit of money, it will cost us, around £1,000, and we are losing a little bit of money. It depends. It seems to oscillate around a lot, which makes me think some of my factories aren't quite happy after the latest update. Whilst that is, we'll make that cheaper and see if this number goes up a bit quicker. Leave that alone for 10 minutes and see how it gets on. So, the new DLC, which is all about hotels and resorts. Last time we were here, we had this little thing here, which we set up as a place to build hotels. And we used one of the old hotel systems, which are based on a tourism specialisation within the... So in the districts area, you can select a tourism specialisation, and that would give you hotels. So that's what we selected last time to build this out with. But now that we've got the new Hotels DLC, we can actually specify out and build our own hotels. So we have a choice between a town hotel, a rental cabin, or a budget hotel. So I think we're going to go for the budget hotel at first. Get that set up. and then get that up and going and see what else it needs. So in the first instance, I just need to place it. I need to delete whatever that is. So we'll get it placed, and then we will see what it needs from us, and then start expanding around it based on what it needs. So let's pop that there, and then reinstate the path I just broke through. So path up there, straight up there and across. Then we're keeping our benches safe. And here's one of our new hotels. We can set our own logo and stuff like that. So let's select that. And our logo, manage hotels. What logo do we like? I like that. Feels like it should have like a lion in the middle or something. And I think we're going to leave it with a no colour set, because then it inherits the colour of the hotel. And I like this gold and blue arrangement. Mad Techie saying that my laptop is channeling your energy levels. Yeah, it might be, because it keeps falling asleep. I'm pretty snoozy today as well. It's been a busy one. So for this budget hotel, it wants each of these bars filled up. So what it's telling me is that it needs more businesses around in order to get to a hotel, to get to the highest hotel rating. And it also needs more nature nearby. So it hasn't got enough nature nearby, so that's upsetting it. So I think what we'll end up doing then is we'll run some trees around the back of here, which will help build the nature score. And then we'll put some businesses down here, little pedestrian area or something, to build the business score. Oh no, it needs office zoning for the business score by the looks of things. So we will put some offices in around here in order to help increase that score. So I don't have my normal brush for doing forestry. That isn't working with the current version of the game for me. I haven't been able to have time to debug it properly yet. So I'm currently running on like a reduced set of mods to what I normally do. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to steal the trees from somewhere else and then copy and paste them and do it that way. And that way I can have a natural patch, or naturalish looking patch of trees without having to place them all separately one at a time. So copy like so, and then drop those in behind here. Then I'll delete the ones that get in the way, or the ones that are not to the right shape, like that, and then delete the overlapping ones that overlap the road. And with a bit of luck, just by doing that, just by adding some trees behind, and in a minute we'll add some paths through the trees as well, we should have increased the nature score for this hotel a little bit. I don't want things growing in right next to it, so I'll dezone that so that things don't grow there. And these still have things growing as well, so we'll undo those for a moment as well, because we're going to want to put some offices in there. Yeah, so we need 10 for our nature. So this is looking for a great view, shoreline or forests. So this is currently saying that there's not enough nature around here for this hotel. And it needs to be located near better offices as well. So there's some businesses there, including a competing hotel. So let's replace those with offices, which will grow in there. What else can I do to give this some nature? I'll try filling out this area over here. What else could we use for nature? I'm not sure if the park counts as nature. Let's find out. Let's grab a park and see if that loads as nature. So these new parks, these are part of the new pack as well, and they've got lots of different variations to them. I was flicking through them the other day. I think my favourite one was this one, which is the kind of little tiny community park. So I'll just remove the trees out of the way. And it's got multiple different versions. So this is kind of the generic community version. Then it has a variation with a pond, variation with like a gazebo, and then a variation with, you know, community garden flowers. And I quite like the version with the pond. So let's see if that has helped the hotel or not. So yes, that has seemed to have done the job. Now my hotel has a nature score of 10, which is fantastic. I'm also going to put the price up so it makes a bit more money. And it has a shopping location popularity rating of 1. Well, that'll be because there's no shops nearby. How is it doing for business now? So it's achieved 15 out of 35 for business. Well, that's really cool. So we're going to be a little bit space limited here. We need both more business and more shopping. So I'm going to put in a little bit of high density shopping there. I'm going to see how it affects the score. And then depending on that effect, we can choose to put in more offices, or maybe we can find another area here where we can put in shopping that will help this hotel. So that has loaded commercial tourism. Now that I am using the Hotel DLC, I'm going to change the specialization away from tourism towards just general commercial wall-to-wall buildings, the ones that pack them in the closest, because we don't need more hotels and we don't need more tourism things. I'm also going to have a little bit of a drink because I realise I'm quite dehydrated. Oh, that's nice to hear, Mad Techie. You're just starting a new city. What map have you gone for? It is past already and I am feeling proper snoozy, so I think I'm going to go for another 15 minutes on stream, and then finish the stream up and find that today was probably not the best day to do a stream. A little bit too snoozy. Snoozy. It's been good. I went into the FCA today to do some accessibility stuff and they were absolutely lovely. It's good, lovely to go visit them. Really interesting. So there's a bit of business and a bit of shopping, so I need a bit more of both. So where can I build a bit more of both? I think I can put a bit of business next to the station without impacting the nature score too much. So let's try that. You're using one of the cities from the second map pack. The map packs are really good. I'm a big fan of the map packs. I've been using third-party maps from the Steam store, but the map packs are good, with an island and some mountains. That sounds nice, Mad Techie. Sounds very nice. So pumping a little bit more commercial in here. See if that gives us a bit more of a score here. So we're 10 out of 7 out of 35 now. Oh, lovely! There's that's really cool. We got a bit. Our zoo has leveled up. So with the zoo leveling up, we have more options for our zoo, which is nice. And this is leveling up as well, which is nice. So we started off at 5, and now that has jumped to 6. So now it's jumped to 13 with our new shopping location in here, and this upgrading to a new, better store. So that's good. It seems that as the parks upgrade, as the buildings upgrade, then they also increase the value they have to the hotel. So that's really, really useful to know. So with that in mind, what could we do to help these upgrade? I'm going to apply the wall-to-wall buildings theme for offices to this area as well, so that these can fit more closely together and we can get more opportunity out of the space. And then I think I'm going to put in a little bit more commercial, 2 strips of that, and then a little bit more office, like so, and see if this builds enough of both to hit what we're looking for. So we just deleted all of the offices, hence that's dropped to 1, and now that is on 18 for shopping. Oh, snoozy. Having a bit of a drink. Oh, that's nice. We're making a profit, which is cool. checking out the way, and then let all that build in, which might take a little bit of time. Although once it's built in, it has immediately leveled up, which is always encouraging. So in fact, it's leveled up twice, which is super encouraging. And now we have a little bit of commercial building in as well. So I think I'm going to leave that to it. While I was prodding around earlier, I also spotted another place where it would be good to build out another hotel, which is over by this station over here. I was looking at this and figured that this would be a good place to have a hotel because it's near really good transport links that are very popular. You can see all the people buzzing around there and going into the underground station, the railway station, and this garden that I designed. So this was a garden that I laid out myself. So that's a good place to this is like a good place in general to have a hotel. And then I was thinking of putting it up here. We have this little kind of micro industry area, which isn't ideal. You know, that's fairly large. And then over here we have a road maintenance and a fire department. So I'm thinking that this could all probably be consolidated. Probably just leaving the waste transfer and the recycling over here, and then turning this area here into like a small business park or like a hotel district, and see if that will create another like budget hotel. But it's nice and close to nature, it's good with transport links and stuff like that, so hopefully that would be, I think that's a good place where I could pop a hotel. I'm just going to go look at the other hotel and see how it's doing quickly. A hotel near the zoo. Okay, so it's doing pretty good. It's quite happy with the commercial, and it is quite happy with the it's quite happy with the commercial, and it's getting there on the business side. So that is encouraging. So once this other area of business land here grows in, when we get a little bit more demand, then hopefully this will continue to go up. The other place where I was thinking of adding some hotels is my nature reserve. So over here somewhere, I have a large nature reserve that I've not really done much with, the Pride Valley Nature Park. So I was playing earlier on a different save, and I was playing around with this area just to see how the terrain looks. And I hit on the idea of potentially building a nice little holiday area, so kind of like a holiday camp on this sort of area in here, as a separate endeavour to the actual park itself, and then building out a bunch of the park amenities here to get it to level up, and give our Sims somewhere to come for a nice nature adventure, basically. Wow, that's a lot of post vans. Just noticed all these post vans coming into the sorting centre. Crikey, that's cool. It's very busy though. Neat. Must be post time. So yeah, so this is the other area where I think it would be cool to do a park using the new Hotels DLC, or the new like a holiday park. So to build that out, let's start with a little like gravel path. So I think bringing it out under the power lines would be good, and then having it go up over this stream, something like that. And then having it up here, and then we can have the kind of the entertainment up in one area, and then have kind of play areas and little playgrounds and stuff along the front facing the river, with a fence for safety, and then further up here we can then have some of the little there's like a nature reserve kind of cabin in the woods style hotel. So we could build a few of those up here to kind of give folks places to go that are nice and secluded. So that's what I was thinking there. So starting with the new parks, where do I want to start? Actually, let's start with the new hotels and see what they want. So I think it's one of these, yeah, a rental cabin. Pop it up here. Pop another one up there and a third one down there. So that's 3 different hotels going in. Oh, they want electricity and they want water. Let's help with that, like so. Now we need to run some electricity too. Run a little suburban power power line out. Where do I want to run my power line? I think I'll run my power line across the river there. And then I'll run a power line down the back of there, I think. And that connects them up without breaking these view lines too much. My laptop is still falling asleep, meaning I don't see everything that's happening in the chat. Well, I am snoozy. There's only 2 folks watching at the moment, and I am properly snoozy this evening. So I think I'm going to probably finish streaming in about 5 minutes. I'm just a little bit too snoozy for this today, and my hands aren't brilliant, so I'm struggling a little bit with my hands and movement, and it's a little slow and sore. Okay, so that's nice. My university has gone up a level to acclaimed reputation, which I think is like a level 4. Let's go have a look at that. Oh, distraction. There's my university. Oh god, there's the yawns. I am proper snoozy. So there you go. There's my level 4 university, which is nice because it's been hanging around at level 3 for ages. It's a little bit of traffic along here as well. Yeah, the mad techie bed cools. Bed really does cool. The other thing is streaming is quite tiring because it involves lots of words and communicating and talking and watching lots of different things. So I think I might play some Skylines very quietly, or I might just head to bed, even though it's very early. I'm tired. I've had a very long day. I've had a long week. I was in an MRI machine yesterday, and then we're off to go see the doctors to see the results for the MRI tomorrow. Find out whether the thing that they found inside me is pancreatic cancer or not. It probably won't be. Like, most certainly it won't be. Like, it's very unlikely that it is. But I'm glad that they are putting the effort into check for me, because I'm a big fan of knowing if I've got cancer or not. Like, that seems like a thing worth knowing. And it will just take a bit of time for them to get the results. So we'll do that tomorrow, and then see how it goes. You're saying about debating trying to stream. Streaming is good. The word side of it is a bit tiring, but I quite like it. I think partly because I dedicate the same time to it every week. I normally do it on Fridays, and I do it in the afternoon, and I make it part of my day. So I think that certainly helps with the energy levels, because I pace for it better. Whereas today the pacing has been a little bit off, and I came into this with too few spoons. So I'm kind of learning about what levels of energy I need for streaming and kind of what works well and what doesn't, which is all rather neat. Kind of learning about myself and learning about the things I'm doing, which I like to do. So yeah, if you've not tried streaming, definitely give it a go. I know from other chats we've had in the past that your speech is not always super reliable, and it's kind of semi-speaking, same as me. And I think that is kind of one of the factors. I think if I had to do this more often, and unlike today, where in a couple of minutes I'm going to finish up because my words are not great, then that would be a bigger problem. So yeah, I think that might be a factor, but definitely worth a go, and see how it goes. See what you enjoy. You may find that in a streaming setup where you're just broadcasting to a community, that your speech is a lot better. I certainly find that my speech is better when I'm giving presentations than it is when I am having conversations. Like my speech is a lot better when I'm giving presentations compared to having conversations. So yeah. So on that note, I think I'm going to start wrapping up. As always, for the folks who have joined, it is lovely to see you come to the stream, and it's lovely to have your comments, and I hope anybody watching this on catch up has found it useful. I'm Jamie, and the 4 foot long plushy lion is Lion. I'm autistic, and well, he's a cat. He's been hanging around with me for a while, for over 20 years at this point. If you like hearing us witter on, then check out the podcast we co-host for the BBC called 1800 Seconds on Autism. You can find more about us at jamieandlion.com, and you can also find us on Twitter at SpacedOutSmiles and at Jamie Knight. So that's all the whoosh for today, and